Good morning, YouTube. Happy Labor Day. I think that's today. Yeah, today's Monday. Um, Today I wanted to talk about the sky. Check it out. It's beautiful this morning, even though it's weird, and it often is weird. I don't know how many people out there who watch me have been paying attention to what's going on up in the sky lately, but a lot of stuff's going on up there, and we are, of course, kept in the dark about it. And it's only a handful of people who are actually researching this and looking into it, and that's the only reason why maybe we notice it more. But I invite anybody to just look up and pay attention to what's going on in the sky. And if you go to my website, I've posted pictures from like July and August, kind of like that week in between, of the sun, and it looks weird. And I have probably hundreds of pictures and little video clips of the sun looking strange and just the sky looking strange in general on my phone. I just invite anybody to look and see what's going on. I have, of course, a theory or my own opinion about what's going on. I don't think the sun that we see is the same sun that we used to see maybe 20 years ago. I'm not sure exactly when, but here in the last decade, let's say, the sun has been replaced or is being obscured with some kind of screen that is projecting like a false sun, a white sun that is not. And that's not the only evidence. I mean, there's so much evidence. I've mentioned the YouTube channel WSO before, and I think I said his name was Dave Olson. He's actually Steven Olson, but his middle initial is D, so I guess I just assumed it was David. But anyway, Steven Olson does a lot of research on the sun and the sky and the moon and why everything is really looking weird now. There's objects in the sky that are unidentified and they are not predictable, which means they're not following any kind of circular rotation around the sun as we do. And there's evidence to suggest that there's a brown dwarf star in our solar system that is huge. It's bigger than our sun. And anyways, all of this other system and these other orbs that are just huge compared to us, they're like about the size of planet Saturn, or maybe they're bigger than Uranus, and maybe not as big as Jupiter or Saturn, but they're pretty darn big. And they're just roaming around in our solar system. And I think people don't know about this, A, and B, just listening to that sounds really crazy, but there's evidence. Universal News Media is another YouTube channel that I was really following, and she posted one video. It was very strange. The last video she posted was talking about how weird stuff was happening at her house, and she was really getting scared because she was posting. Wow, something just jumped in the pond there, and I didn't see what it was. She was posting this pictures from the FAA weather station up in Alaska, which is a federal, it's a government-owned, institution or organization up there, and these are their pictures from their camera, and they even show these orbs, and there's tons of them, there's hundreds of them. So I'll post a link to her website, but after she posted that last video, or it was close to the last video, of weird stuff happening and she was getting scared, she has not posted since, and other YouTubers have made videos about how strange that is and how they haven't been able to get a hold of her. So who knows what's happened with her. I hope she's okay. But all of this to say, stuff is going on up in the sky that we are not aware of. There's other sources, not so common sources and maybe controversial sources, out of this world sources that have been obtained through maybe esoteric methods or methods, non-conventional methods, let's say, things like remote viewing and channeling, which you can think whatever you want about that stuff, but if the government uses it, the military uses these techniques, they use psychics, and they use supernatural elements and techniques to whatever they do up in the, you know, the hidden organizations, the hidden parts of their organizations that we don't even know about. That's where they use all this stuff. They do mind control. I mean, all of this stuff is real. It happens. So, you know, any kind of pushback we get that, oh no, that can't possibly happen, just sounds insane to me now, because it is happening. It does happen. And it's just, you know, there's a lot of information out there. A lot of information. Just I keep talking about Wes Penray, but you know, he is a wealth of information as well, because he will lead to other sources such as Robert Morningsky and the Terra Papers. I'll include a link for that below. If you've heard anything about the wing makers, I mean, all of this stuff sounds really crazy, but if you look into it, I mean, if there is even a possibility that it is true, and if there's any evidence to suggest that it might be, you really should pay attention to it, because some stuff is going on this planet that is just out of this world. It's crazy. And I'm going to stop talking because I think I'm going to start sounding like a crazy person, but I'll post links in the description below. And I just invite anybody to look at the sky, and maybe as a starting, or as a reference point, start with the Sumerians and the Sumerian tablets, and maybe a guy named Zecharia Sitchin. Maybe start looking and see what he wrote. And I'm not saying that I agree 100% with Sitchin. I'm saying that this rabbit hole goes so deep, all right? It goes really deep, and there is just layer upon layer upon layer of stuff going on that we don't even see. So look at everything very carefully with a discerning eye and try to figure it out. But reality, the way it's being presented to us, is just a complete fiction. So you need to step out of your bubble to see the world the way it really is, and it's amazing. So thanks for watching, everybody, and if you found this video interesting, please share it and like it. And if it sounded way too crazy for you, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you step out of your bubble, maybe you'll get to this place one day, and you'll see that you will never imagine, you will wonder why you ever thought that it was the way that they're telling us it is.